Do yourself a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Try it for a month. You'll feel amazing. Next patch, joy patch. Isn't this great? Like to have the whole idea, to have a patch that without drugs, without chemicals, without stimulants, gives you hope, happiness like never before. Sunshine in a patch, a hug in a patch, mood enhancement, outlook enhancement, positive mental attitude in a patch. Talk about dynamic optimism. This is optimism in a 2x2 inch patch. Why? Because that mindset is a neural program. Surprise, like I said, everything is. So if we can turn a cloudy day into a sunny day, why wouldn't we? Like, I mean, if we have a product that's going to get us to our childlike mood, you know, like you got little kids. I got this little grandbaby now. She's always smiling. I look at her and I start smiling. I might rename this patch to Rosie because that little kid gives me so much happiness. But think about it. Who doesn't need a little bit of happiness? And now you can combine this with our peace patch. Peace and joy. Peace and joy. Because the problem, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Most people don't want to talk about their problems. Right? Some people do. Then there's people like me. I don't talk about my problems. Ever. I don't talk to anyone. I just deal with it. Right? We're all raised differently. And as sad as to say, men have different expectations as they're raised as young boys and then young men and then fathers and husbands and all those other great things. Right? Most people don't know how to talk about it because they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of people, what will people say? I have to be strong. I have to be this. I have to be that. But there's a way to let people know. Say, hey, you know those days when you're not feeling yourself and you're a little bit gloomy? Try this patch. Try it out. Studies show that people's mood enhances, their cognitive networks enhance, they feel better. Right? And especially the stress patch. The stress patch, I would just say, hey, listen, everything's so stressful today. The peace patch, like if you're over 40 years old and you don't wear the peace patch, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. You will improve the quality of your life and your health by reducing the perceived stress by 33%. That's a big number. It's so big that you actually you change risk profiles. That's how big a number that is. You go from medium, high stress to low stress. You go out of the danger zone into the safe zone. Because I tell you, the things that are causing us stress, they're not going anywhere. Financial uncertainty is not going anywhere. The tax man isn't going anywhere. Their bills aren't going anywhere. Our teenagers aren't going to stop causing us problems. It's not going to go away. If you're over 40 years old, you need to be wearing the peace patch. As your friend, I'm saying this. You do as you decide, okay? One of the most wonderful and complex patches I've had the pleasure of making is our Kick It patch. Take back control. What does that mean? So sometimes in our lives, we develop some bad habits, right? And there's the default settings. We get a little bit of anxiety in our lives, a little bit of stress in our lives, and that's our default setting that helps us feel better. Okay? That's our comfort, action, behavior, whatever that is. Okay? And sometimes, though, those behaviors are bad for us. But there is a neurological loop that's happening that gets us from intention to action. So something starts with intention, it gets triggered because of some kind of stressor. Then it leads to a thought and it leads to an action. What we figured out is precisely that information loop from intention, trigger, intention, thought, and then action. And we can interrupt it when it's not good for us. What this is, in its essence, is a willpower patch. right? Because sometimes most of us, all we need is a reminder to say, hey, that's probably not a good idea, Jay. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's probably not a good idea. But unfortunately, there's usually nobody around when we're going through that small little crisis where we're going to have an extra cookie or go for that smoke, right? Or whatever that is that we've identified for ourselves. This is that amazing, amazing product that gives us that willpower stamina to say, you know what, not today. I'm okay for now. When you combine this with this, superpowers. Because remember I talked about that trigger, the stress trigger? So if we eliminate the stress triggers or minimize the stress triggers, this works better. And they work side by side. And they work amazingly together. Okay? They work amazingly together. If somebody has a tendency for gloominess, a little bit of Eeyore, kind of sad all the time, can't see the positive in anything, add a joy patch. If you want to make an impact on your outlook into life and develop that positive attitude where your glass becomes half full and the sun is seemingly always shining on your life, and the people, you want to feel that way, whether it is or not, but you want to feel like that it's going great, it's going to be great, I'm great, everything's great. This is the trifecta. This is the mental wellness trifecta right here. Peace, joy, kick it. It works great for kids. It works great for grandparents. It works great for people like me. I got my joy patch on right there. Love it. Love it. Love it. Because our stressors kick in bad habits, right? I'm stressed out today. I'm not going to make those calls. I'm not going to do this. Guess what? Kick it patch is going to help with that. Joy patch is going to help with that. Peace patch is going to help with that. And I'm not saying you need it every day. I'm saying use it as you feel. But if you feel like that you're having one of those not 100% rock and roll days, if you don't feel like a rock star, slap a patch on. It's going to do amazing things for you.